What is up, guys? I am Sia and welcome back to another tactics testing video. Today we have the 5-2-3 spanner by the man himself, Clayts. Let's get in and see how it does and ultimately see if it can take top spot. So here is the formation. As you can see, 3 at the back, the wing backs, 2 in midfield, and then 3 strikers. In goal, we have a sweeper keeper on support. We have a centre back, central defender on cover, and 2 ball playing defenders on defend. 2 wing backs on attack, 2 centre mids on support, and then a deep line forward on support in between 2 pressing forwards on attack. We are going with a positive mentality. In possession, we are playing our defence, working the ball in the box, playing with a higher tempo and playing fairly narrow. In transition, we are rolling it out, counter and counter pressing. Then out of possession, we have a high press. We are preventing the shot, goalkeeper distribution. We are pressing more often and we are getting stuck in. So there's the formation. Let's see how we get on with Leeds. So at the end of the season, we've had a very, very good one, to be fair. We finish in 12th, 3 places above where we were expected in the season preview. A semi-final of the FA Cup and a quarter-final of the Carabao Cup. It has been a very nice season for Leeds. Let's have a look at the league and see if we are in these standings here. Goals, we have Rodrigo in 7th with 19, Luis Sinistera with 16 and 8th, and no sign of Patrick Bamford, which is weird because usually Patrick Bamford is at the top of that list. 3rd, Luis Sinistera, I guess he's been playing up front, and then we also have Rodrigo there, mainly probably because of the goals they both scored. It's nice to actually see some varied teams in there for a change because usually it's just the same, all big hitters. Sinistera assists, he's got 10, he is in 4th, and that is the only man on the assists. Let's have a quick look at how we stack up on goals. Where is Patrick Bamford? Bamford got 13. So that's, you know, Tyler Robertson's got 33 goals in the championship. Anyway, we'll ignore that, but here we are. Goals, we have 26 for Rodrigo, 23 for Sinistera, and 13 for Bamford. And after that, you're really struggling for other people that have scored goals. Assists, 13 Sinistera, 7 for Rodrigo, 6 for Rocker, and 6 for Dallas, who only played 14 games, so he's come back. Hopefully he comes back this season just as well. And then we have 5 apiece for Adams and Christensen. Now let's have a look and see if they had any big results. Let's first check the FA Cup. Burnley, Huddersfield, Lincoln, and then the loss on penalties to Brighton. So it's not actually that bad. It's necessarily getting 2 there. Big wins though, 5-0 against Burnley, 2-0 Huddersfield, and 3-1. I mean, they only conceded 1 goal up until the Brighton game where things didn't go too well, did they? But let's have a look at the FA Cup where they got a little bit further. They beat Liverpool en route. They beat Brighton. I mean, out of 4 games they won, only 1 was against opposition that was not in the Premier League. So, you know, to beat Liverpool is also very... Ricardo Horta now plays for them in this save. Weird. Let's have a look at some... Chelsea got beaten 5-0. That's better than the 3 we scored this season. So we beat them 5-0, but in between... It's like big wins followed by just absolute disappointment, abject disappointment in it, really. And we start off the season, you know, comfortably, I guess. Beating Nottingham Forest 3-1, and after that, we do not win another game. We get 3 points in about 2 months before we beat Everton 4-0. Lose to Fulham. Beat Southampton. And did we beat any more big teams? What I want to know. Did we beat any more big teams? Brentford 6-3. Man United, we beat them 1-0. We beat Newcastle again there. And then Arsenal 5-1. That is what you'd love to hear. So let's go to the league and see how many points we ended up with. 45, 4 away from Leicester and 3 above Brentford. We take the 45 points and go into the Hull simulation. See if we can nick that top spot from GIR. So the season preview has Hull in 11th and we have managed 8th place. Just 1 outside of the playoffs. So... a nice season. 4th round of the FA Cup, 1st round of the Carabao Cup, which is a massive bummer actually for them. But let's have a look if we are in any of these high scoring charts. On the goals, we are non-existent in the goals, unfortunately. Average ratings, we're not in the average ratings, but we are in the assists. Jean-Michael Seri, 31 years of age, he is there with 14 in 2nd place. And that's all we've got. So although we finished high, hopefully it's like an even distribution across the full side for goals and assists. We have Sav Domenech with 15. Estupian with only 14. He's scored 40 one season. Only 14 for him. You thought with 3 strikers, you could really make the most of that. Tete has 11. Tufan and Greaves with 7. And Smith and Seri with 4 apiece. Assists-wise, we have 15 for Michael Seri, who is over double the next nearest people in Callum Elder and Tyler Smith. Christie's got 6. And McLaughlin's got 4. So this is... I thought this would be better. I thought this would absolutely wipe the floor with some people here. But let's have a look at the cup games. So only the one game here. I mean, were we even in this game? Obviously, away from home. I can't press on the result, which is a bummer, but it's fine. So away from home, you know, not the best. Let's have a look at the FA Cup, where we actually did get through at least one group game here. So we drew with Wigan, who are also in the Championship, so it's not that bad. Then beat them 1-0 away from home. And then lost 4-2 to Man United, which you'd expect to lose to Man U. But we're at Wigan, we went down. Millwall went down. These leagues are madness. Let's have a look. So Peel went up, Norwich, Borough, QPR went up, Sheffield United are also at the top end of the table. Did we get any decent results? Because I mean, we're seeing a lot more greens than we did. We drew with Borough, trying to look for the big clubs here. We lost to United, Sheffield United. 4-1 against West Brom, 3-1 against Norwich at the start of the season. So the start of the season, things were looking rosy. Then as we got on, I mean, silly losses. I mean, we lost to Luton last game of the season, losing to Blackpool, losing to Sunderland, Wigan 2-0, QPR 4-0, Tyler Roberts getting a hat. What is this? Tyler Roberts with a hat trick there. Losing to Rotherham, I mean, you're dropping points against teams that if you want to be going up, you need to be beating, really. You need to be beating Cardiff. Has to be beating Preston. Same with Wigan. Same with Rotherham, to be honest with you. So that is a little bit of a bummer. A little bit of a bummer there. But we have 73 points. We put them in the bank and we head to Bromley. And here we are at Bromley and we have a promotion. It was through the playoffs. But by the looks of it, Wrexham didn't go up, which usually Shaft does. But let's go to the league. Oh, we beat Wrexham in the... I love that. But first of all, let's have a look at the highest rating, the goals, ratings, and the assists. And in 8th place, George Alexander with 22. He is actually joined with Michael Cheek, who also got 22. And they're our 2 goal scorers. Average rating, surely them 2 are in this as well. George Alexander in 4th. Michael Cheek not on that, which is a shock. Alexander 7.42. Be interesting to see what Cheek's was. But assists, Alexander and Forster with 14 apiece. Lewis Dennis with 12. Bingham with 10. But I actually want to see what the ratings were, to be honest with you, for Cheek. Cheek was miles down. 7.12 for Cheek is a bit disappointing considering the amount of goals he got. But goals-wise, Cheek with 24. Obviously, Alexander 23. Louis Denny got 14 with 14 assists, which is nice. Bloomfield got 12. And then the assists, we have quite a few actually double figures. Reece Hannon with 10. Billy Bingham 10. Obviously 14 for Forster and Denny. It's quite a nice spread, to be fair. It is quite a nice spread for this club. But let's have a quick look at, first of all, the games in the Cup, where we actually got through 2 rounds, beating Hampton and Richmond 3-2, and then Alty 2-0, before coming 2-1 to Maidenhead, who are in the Vanarama South, aren't they? No, they're in the National League. They finished 22nd, though, so, you know, we should have been beating them. In the FA Cup, we beat in the 4th qualifying round Canvey Island 4-0 before losing to Bolton, which, you know, Bolton a very strong side, unlucky to really come out of that in such a poor way. But let's have a quick look at the playoffs before we get into the crux of the situation. Semi-finals, 3-2 after extra time. It was 1-1 going into the end of the 90 minutes. But then set up a penalty win where we had a man sent off in the 50th minute over Wrexham, which feels like justification because Wrexham always seem to beat us in the playoffs on these. But if we have a look at the results, a few disappointing ones. We lost 3-1 to Chesterfield, obviously, before we went to the playoffs. 5-1 to Eastleigh. 6-2 with Yeovil. Oh, we've had some good months. We've had some terrible months, I think it's safe to say. Very hit and miss. This team is probably a little bit better off for this formation than the Leeds one. I see that on all the back 5 kind of formations. But a 5-3 loss to Oldham. Did we get any big wins? We already played Wrexham. Beat Dorking 2-1. 4-1 here. 4-1 here. But we set off this season like a bat out of hell. So let's have a look how many points we've got. In total, we have 91, which puts this with a score of 69.69. Something, it's a lot of decimal places, which means by a midge's dick, this formation is in 4th. The table is down below. Go check it out. There's some very, very good tactics on there. But for now, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay safe.